Wonderful to have YFM News Editor Mfundo Mabalane joining us. Look at papers.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning, guys.
Good to have you. Good, thank you.
Can we start with the Star newspaper? It's a pleasure to have you. Hopefully we make this, because YFM, by the way, just downstairs.
Oh, yeah.
Or are you on the same level?
Yes, we're just one stairs.
One
floor
so
down.
you're a regular guest.
Yes.
Good. We'll get you another chair. Okay, so the Star newspaper is where we're going to start. And this, I cannot understand what is going on with this story. This Tembisa 10, the saga revealing the truth in the Star newspaper, it almost beggars belief. It almost seems too fictional to be real.
No, honestly, I'm not surprised that it would feature prominently today in our newspapers, because it really was a talking point yesterday beyond the briefing. We saw on social media, I'm sure all of you guys followed it. It was such a talking point. We had those that are rubbishing the revelations, while some actually genuinely believe that there was this elaborate plan to conceal the death of the 2 infants and then abduct the 8. But again, the pertinent question is, what was the motive? So there are a lot of questions to be asked still. What would the Nigerian doctor's motive be? Why abduct all 8? If perhaps there's a family that cannot conceive, you could have abducted just 1. You know, yes, it's terrible to even think you're abducting children, but nevertheless, why the 8 and where is the mother currently?
Yeah, but also the allegations, guys, I'm sorry to jump in there, that have been made against the Gauteng Provincial Health Department. I mean, we're speaking to Vuyo Maga about this as well again today. But also conspiracies on trafficking, but also negligence from the part of doctors and nurses. This is a huge defamation, I suppose, even a huge blow to their reputation as the health department.
And again, another mystery as to what we as women would know, that generally when you go to see your gynae, you would have your sonar. You would have your sonar, and we should have all of that.
Yes.
But in this instance, we were never, at least, yes, we're not privy to it, but we do not know if Peter Mpedi, in fact, was in possession of the sonar. We don't know that he had that, and unfortunately we also don't know where the mother is and her well-being, because honestly it is concerning. Is she still alive?
Oh yeah.
Is she not? It's really a story
voice
that is beyond bizarre. Like you say, it reads like a novel.
It does, and I'm so glad you raised it with the mom, as that was going to be my question to you. We're all focusing on independent media. There's now the upcoming legal action as well from the Department of Health, but what we weren't talking about was the mom, so I'm so glad you brought that up. What is happening with the mom? But as we just move to the second story on the Star, we had this bizarre video last week. Police now focusing on malls after jewellery heists. It almost seems as though criminals are using shopping centres as a challenge to authorities. It's like, how brazen can we be and bet you can't stop us? That's where it's getting to.
I think it's because shopping malls is something that you don't expect. You know, we're so comfortable, we drop our guard when we're at the mall. You really just don't expect somebody to just walk in with a gun. So in places like an ATM, yes, it can be expected, but another thing, they are playing on, let's say, the SAP's shortcomings. Because here, they're looking to increase deployment. That's what they say, that they want to be visible, but capacity has always been an issue. Do they have enough men on the ground? Do they have enough? They don't. This was evident with the unrest, because the ratio of police officers to citizens is deeply concerning. So at this point, they almost know. Criminals are that smart to know you cannot be everywhere at the same time.
I'm keen to see those crime stats when they come out, because remember, Mall of Africa was also a point of focus, even on social media, when that one particular lady narrated in a thread how she was pickpocketed, lost her phone, but she's not the only one. So many incidents at some malls, including Mall of Africa, where we see this type of crime. I want to move to the Herald now, if I may, Mfundo. The headline there being no doctor, no grant, no hope. It seems Salsa applicants here waiting months to just get medical assessment to qualify for this particular grant.
This one actually disturbed me, honestly, because this is a sad but all too familiar story of government sort of inability to put proper measures in place for continuity. Because here what the story really is talking about is that you have possible grant recipients, these disability grants that were supposed to be processed, not being processed. You have citizens going there. And the reason is that they cannot conduct medical assessments because there are no doctors. Why are there no doctors with SASSA? It's because the contracts ended. And now you have a stop-start situation where the contract ended, and SASSA now is saying that they're looking to finalize service level agreements with new doctors. But that stop-start doesn't bode well with me, because what that then means, there were 2 months where you had these citizens going there for their medical assessments.
Right.
I mean, some of them have been amputated. They went there for their medical assessments. There's no doctor. And I'm asking that, you know, a contract coming to an end is never a surprise.
Yeah.
You know. So if you knew the contract is ending in September, surely you would have started your process of service level agreements probably in July.
Absolutely.
And then you have the new incoming doctors actually shadowing the old, and then there's a proper handover, and then there's no disruption.
Just because you know the contract's coming to an end doesn't mean you stop doing the work all those months before. I'm curious to know what the punitive measures are going to be, because essentially that could be seen as breach of contract, but it should be seen as breach of contract. I just want to quickly move to the witness. We have about 30 seconds left, just on the rates relief on offer. This is to do with Msunduzi, and it was the unrest in July. Good news for property owners?
Good news at first glance when you're looking that there's that rates relief. But then when you look at it again, you ask yourself, wait a minute, this is Msunduzi municipality. Their audit outcomes in 2020 just painted a bleak picture of their financial viability. They're in no position to be doing this, because this is a significant chunk of their revenue that they're going to lose. And then you ask yourself, July, we have the unrest. We're in October. You're announcing this. It is elections. So we've got a caring government that now decides that we're going to relieve you of these rates. What is happening? And the unfortunate part is that they're saying the budget adjustments are going to then be looked at beyond the elections by the new government. Is the ANC going to be in government at the time? What if it's a Democratic Alliance or an EFF that now has to deal with these budget constraints? What do you reduce in the municipality? You compromise service delivery, but still a genuine issue of businesses needing relief. So they're actually using something that is a genuine concern. So it's tricky. Electioneering time.
Right. Interesting points.
Thanks very much for joining us. We're going to love having you back with us more often as well. Mfundo Mabalane, YFM News Editor, joining us. Take a look at the morning newspapers.